Well, the news is out. They've put their reports in, and here's how much you need to make in order to buy a median priced home here in DFW. And honestly, it doesn't look super good. So let's jump in and talk about it and what this means for you. Here we go. Okay, so it is no surprise that housing has gotten crazy over the last couple of years. Housing rate prices have gone up, interest rates have gone up. Everybody that's got those 2 and 3% are not selling, which means that like inventory is going down and there's a shortage. All of those things are true. Inflation is up. All of that is true. So Fox 4, which is one of the local DFW news channels, published this article about how much you need to make to afford a median priced home here in DFW. Let's take a look at it and see what they say. And hopefully maybe by the end, I can provide you some hope for some alternatives. So here we go. So how much do you need to make to afford a home in DFW? This is what it says. It says for Dallas, the report states a home buyer needs to make at least $115,913 a year in order to afford the median priced home, which is up 15% from a year ago. So this factors in interest rates and pricing. If you're buying on the Fort Worth side, so you're buying on the west side, it's a little bit less. They say it's $98,185. And then here's where it's interesting. They say, according to their article, median sales price in Dallas-Fort Worth is $425 and $360 respectively. They then go on to talk about Austin and all the craziness that's going on in Austin and all the fun stuff that they're doing down there. And then they say the typical American household earns about $40,000 less. Yeah, $40,000 less than what's needed to buy a median price income. And of course, what's causing this, what I talked about earlier, is there's a shortage. We have 3.5 million to over 5 million homes with shortage. So what do you do? What do you do? You look at this and you're like, we're never going to buy a house. We can't afford it. What do we do? It's hard. Yeah. I mean, seriously, I get it. Like, I understand. I help people try and buy homes every day. I do a lot of stuff with first-time home buyers. So I get it. I understand that it can be hard. But I want to help you find maybe some light at the end of the tunnel, maybe a different opportunity. And for me, I'm always going to go back and review the numbers. So they're showing, what did it say? It was in DFW, Dallas, we need to make $115,000 and sales prices on average are $425. So I was like, that's interesting. I want to actually dig in and look at the data. So if you've been around my channel before, I'm going to show you the data because I think that's really what's important. So here we go. This is the graphic trend for the 4 major counties in DFW. So this is Dallas County, Tarrant County, Collin County, and Denton County. So really I'm missing, Ellis County to the south, Kaufman County, Rockwell County, things like that. And this is all price ranges, single family, all bedrooms, and all construction types. And this was kind of a fun one for me because that study that the news quoted was published by Redfin. And so they were saying it's $425. And so I'm looking at this, and Dallas County average sales price. So this is median sales price for September of 2023. It was $370. Collin County, of course, was $511 because we know that is really starting to grow and there's a ton going on up there. Tarrant County average sales price was $349. Denton County $460. So I don't think they're too far off on their estimation. We can take a look at closed sales and say how many sales did we close in all of those counties. So 1,500 we're seeing 1,300, 1,000, 1,600, 1,100. But I want to go back to median sales price. So median sales price we're seeing. So if you're buying in Dallas County. We're looking at a $370 purchase price. But I am my specialty for me a lot of times is new construction real estate. That's what I really like to help people buy. That's what I sell a lot of. And part of why I like new construction is because of the builder incentives that are tacked onto that. And again, we talked about earlier, there's a massive shortage of homes that are being sold, right? Everybody that got those 2, 3, 4% rates, they're not selling those homes. They're not coming back to market. So we need to look elsewhere. So when we look at new construction, there's some really great opportunities there because these builders are they're cranking out homes as best they can, as quick as they can. And there's incentive money that's helping make those homes more affordable. So while we're not seeing massive price reductions, what we are seeing is builders giving away money to buy down closing costs, interest rates, and things like that to help make a home a little bit more affordable. Again, you still have to make a lot of money to be able to buy a home, but if we can help, if we can drop the interest rate, I think that helps a little bit. So let's go back to the chart and look at the difference, like when we just remove and we go from all types to just new construction. So September 2023, median sales price new construction, so 457, 440, 373 Denton County at 459. So those prices are actually up a little bit comparative to like where we were. So like on all of them, just for reference, maybe down. But what's happening in those spaces is things like this. So this is Trophy Homes. And Trophy is one of the newer builders on the scene here in DFW. And they've opened a ton of communities. And they've got homes priced, in the low threes up to the 600 and 700. So it's not just like they're doing it one way or the other. But they're saying, hey, here's what we've got on our incentives. So buy your dream home before the holidays and get a low interest rate of $599 fixed, which is a 30-year fixed, or a $30,000 reduction to use however you want to use it. So closing costs, rate buy down, combination on anything that closes, again, before the end of the year, because they need to move homes. So builders have incentives to help try and make up this gap to get you into a home. So we've got them. We've got Highland saying $15,000 to buy your rate down on anything on inventory that's going to close before the end of the year. There's maybe a little wiggle room to ask for a little bit more, but the builders are trying to move homes. We've got here's another one. So we're seeing, hey, we've got price reductions already coming, and they're moving them even more, plus a 5.49 interest rate and no closing costs. So these builders are trying to do what they can to make a home happen if they can make it happen. Like I said, we're not seeing, tons and tons of hundreds of thousands of dollars of price reductions, but we are seeing builders try and help give that money to you to be able to get into a home. So I want to show you kind of what that scenario looks like with real numbers to make that make sense. Okay, let's start with this one to start with. So this is 392,980. This is in Melissa. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square feet. This is actually one of their courtyard products. So you've kind of got like a really neat feel where your front and backyard are all connected, and you've got a separate garage. Really, really neat space. Very well done. But I want you to see what this looks like in terms of pricing, because they were the one that said it was that 5.49 interest rate. So let's look at pricing on what that would look like monthly. Okay, so what I did here is I took that house we were just looking at, that 392 in Melissa, and said, hey, if we did 392 and we did an FHA loan, and the minimum on FHA is 3.5% down, here's our tax rate, here's everything we would need. So you would bring to the table is $27,000 roughly in change for closing costs, prepaids, and buy down and down payment. Your monthly payment would be $4,000. That's a lot. That's where that number of like, oh my gosh, we have to make over six figures to be able to buy a house. But watch what happens so we go from that rate, that 8% rate, which is very close to what market rate opened at today, and we've all seen those people talking about that. And we go down to that roughly $3,300. So we move the needle about $700 a month. So that is going to help a ton with a builder that's giving you great incentives. Let's take a look at another one. I was talking about Trophy, so let's go see what we can find on their website and see what might be affordable with them. Okay, let's take another option. Like I said, we're looking at a 3-bed, 2-bath home. This is in Roy City. This is almost 1,600 square feet, and they have this house listed at $299,900. So this is under $300. Was $311, and then they're showing it, as low as $1,711 on the principal and interest without the taxes. Let's go back to my calculator. Use their same what they're showing, 5.99 interest rate to see at so $299,900 at a 5.9 interest rate. What does that look like in terms of pricing for you? All right, here we go. So purchase price $299,900, 3.5% down. We're keeping our FHA, and we're doing a interest rate at 5.99. Let's see. Brings our monthly payment down to $2,666. So roughly $2,700. Your bring to close is $21,000. basically on the down payment, prepaids. Guys, builders are trying to get people into homes. I know. The market's been crazy, and I know you're like, oh, maybe we shouldn't buy, maybe we shouldn't, we should wait. I can't decide that for you. What I can tell you is that I'm here to be a resource. If you want to try and find a home, I want to help you find a home. For some people, you're like, hey, it just makes sense for us to rent. I'm not talking for you guys. I'm not going to pressure you into anything. I'm just trying to tell you, don't be scared. If you want to find a deal, we can find you a deal. We can find builders that are giving money to help buy those rates down, either like on a 3-2-1 buy down or a 2-1 buy down or a permanent buy down, to try and make these things affordable. There are down payment assistance options we could look at if you want to go that route. Just know that if you're doing that, you're going to pay a higher interest rate, which means it's going to be more expensive monthly. So you probably don't want to do that. If you have equity in a home, you could sell right now and do really well and pull that equity out and get an upgrade to your next home. So maybe you're not a first-time home buyer. My job again is to provide information and data to you to help you make an informed decision and to represent you as the best I possibly can to get you the home that you want. And if you want to do that, I would love to help you. My contact information is at the bottom of this screen. Reach out. There is some great opportunities between now and the end of the year, even going into the first part of 2024, because again, as the market does what it's going to do, at some point, the rates may drop and you're going to have more competition. So you don't want to be out there competing with people. And when those rates drop and there's more competition, you're going to get less incentives from the builder. So take your pick. But if you want to look and find something here in DFW, whether it's to the north in Melissa or Roy City or Hazlet or Waxahachie, or you're relocating and you have questions, contact information, like I said, bottom of the screen. Reach out. I'm happy to help any way I can. And if you want to find it, we'll find it. Obviously, that means we're not doing like $300,000 in Princeton. That does not exist. So if you want to find affordable, we can find affordable. It's going to be a little bit on the outliers. You're going to have to drive a little bit. If you still want to find great deals, there's tons of great deals in all the different price points of new construction. I want to help you any way I can. We will see you in our next video. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you found value, again, thumbs up goes a long way. If you want to continue to learn about new construction here in DFW, we've got new content, several videos every single week. Subscribe to the channel, and I'm happy to help any way I can. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.